What is up guys, Taiki here, and in this video I'll be going over how to be a profitable yield farmer on the Polygon network. If you like the content, please like and subscribe and leave a comment in the comment section below. None of this is financial advice, so let's get started. So this is the agenda of the video. Let's first understand what farms are, right? In order to be a profitable yield farmer, you have to understand the Ponzinomics of these farms and how farms work. Then I'll go over how to know if a farm is safe, the game theory of yield farming and general tips. And lastly, I'll be going over, my 4 commandments, Taiki's 4 commandments for all yield farmers that you all should follow if you want to make money through these farms. Okay, so let's first understand how farms work. So this is an example of a farm where you stake tokens to earn the farm token, and the deposit fee will be used to buy back the farm token itself. And I like to do single asset staking. You can also LP, but I think single asset staking is like the easiest. You just stake a single asset. So for example, I have USDT in this farm, and when I first deposited into the farm, I pay a 4% deposit fee, but after I pay that fee, I'm just earning these farm tokens for free, right? And the keyword is free. I'm earning farm tokens for free. You're earning farm tokens for free. Everyone else in the world is earning farm tokens for free. So what do you think will happen to the price of these farm tokens? Well, if you're early, you can farm more tokens than whoever comes after you. And the latecomers pay the deposit fee, which is going to be used to buy back and burn the token in the market, which will prop up the token's price. But at some point, the shit's going to zero, because at some point, the incremental farmer, they're not going to come, right? The farms only work if more farmers keep going into the farms. But as soon as the farm dies, there's not going to be demand to get into that farm, and at that point, the farm token is going to go to like pennies, right? It's going to go to zero, and that's how it's designed to do. And let's actually go over the math behind this and how it's designed to go to zero. So I've highlighted like 2 farms, like Polyshark and Polyfi, and is for Polyshark, 0.5 shark is mined every single block, and for Polyfi it's 0.8, and this is gonna differentiate. This is gonna be different for all farms. But on Matic, a new block is mined every 2 seconds. So if 0.5 sharks are mined per block, that means 1 shark is minted every 4 seconds. 900 shark is minted every 4 hours, and 21,600 sharks are minted per day. And this is going to keep on going every single day. Yes, the farm token, the supply is infinite, right? For 99% of the farms, the total supply of these farms are infinite, okay? So let's think logically. If the supply is infinite and it's going to go up every single day, what is going to happen to the token price? It's going to go to zero. It's designed to go to zero, guys. It's designed to go to zero. And I feel dumb for making this kind of video, but literally people are market buying these farm tokens, and I guess you can make money in like a short time span, but chances are if you're buying the farm token in the market, you're gonna just lose money. So this is Polyshark. I don't know what the price is right now, but I think the farm launched around here, on the 10th, and people were depositing into the farm leading up to it, so the tokens are going up. But as soon as the farm opened, it dumped, right? It went up again because people were depositing, and then it dumped again. And at some point, everyone is farming and dumping the token. So, the equilibrium price for these farms are gonna, trend to zero over time. And I just wanted to, really just punch this idea into your head, because I go into these Telegram groups and people are literally buying the farm tokens in the market, right? Like this guy is saying, I will buy it all if we get below $5. You don't know what I know. Well, I think this guy doesn't understand how farm tokens work, right? This guy is going to lose all his money. And, and this guy says, I'm buying the dip on the farm token, right? Which is ridiculous. And, someone correctly responded with the correct meme right after this guy sent his message with, I lost my life savings again. And, if you want to buy the farm token in the market, that's fine, right? Just do it. It's your money. You can do whatever you want with your money. But just understand that if you're naive enough to buy the farm token in the market, expecting it to go up, just understand that I will be farming and dumping my tokens on you. I'll be dumping my tokens on your ass, okay? Say this with me. If I am naive enough to think the farm token will go up in price, Taiki will farm and dump his tokens on my ass, okay? If you understand that idea and you still want to buy the token, okay, go for it, right? I'm happy for you, and I hope you make money. But chances are I'll be laughing at you. Okay, anyways, let's go over these APRs, right? And the thing to understand about these APRs, this 900% is nothing, right? Most farms, when they start out, it's going to be 1,000,000%. But these APRs go down over time. Why is that? Well, APR is paid out in the farm token, right? And we just talked about how the farm tokens are designed to go to zero. Okay, so it doesn't matter what the APRs are now, like right now, like it just matters like where the farm is going. The farms only work if more and more people deposit. It's a literal Ponzi. So you have to be early into these farms because you might FOMO into a farm because of the high APRs, but so let's say it's like a 10,000% APR. You'll FOMO into it. 30 minutes later, it's at like 2,000%, and you're gonna be like, oh wow, like I got scammed. Like this is a scam. No, you're just dumb. Okay, you have to understand that these APRs are temporary, and the farm tokens are designed to go to zero. The farm tokens are designed to go to zero. Okay. With that being said, I'm sure I'm kind of being annoying with this idea, but ultimately the goal of yield farming is to get your deposit fee back, at least, right? If you can make your deposit fee back, then it's a plus EV farm. Plus EV meaning positive expected value. So if you deposit $1,000, you'll pay $40 in deposit fees. If you can make that back, then you should do that farm, right? Like with investing, with anything in life, you should make plus EV decisions, and that's how you make money. Okay. With that being said, the biggest risk to these farms is being rugged, right? Where let's say you deposit $1,000 and the developer just rugs your token, meaning that they just take $1,000 and they like run off with you. Most of these developers are anonymous, so if they take your tokens, then there's nothing you can do. There's no such thing as FDIC insurance. And the one tool that I always talk about is the Rug Doctor spreadsheet. The link will be in the description below. But the Rug Doctor, this is like a team of engineers that read code. They're DeFi natives, and essentially they, for every new yield farm that get brought to them, they're gonna look at the code and see how risky it is. And some of them, they're like, yeah, like Puma, like this was a rug. There was a rug function in every pair of the LP. Okay, so the Rug Doctor says it's a rug. Don't go into them. And the colors mean like, so like the yellow means it's kind of risky, but like, you know, I've still gone into these yellow farms because I guess I'm like an ape. But the white ones with no highlight they're like the safest ones. So depending on your risk tolerance, go with whatever you whatever you think is best for you. But you know, this is how you determine whether a farm is safe or not. And you have to understand that, you know, this is done with their best knowledge, and like these guys are anonymous as well. So you know, when you're just looking at the spreadsheet and aping into these farms, you're like trusting your funds with anonymous engineers around the world that's saying it's safe. There's no guarantee, and like these teams can overlook any lines of code. And think about it, like if a developer wants to rug you, then they're gonna try their best to hide like whatever like malicious code they have. So you know, this is like not like 100%. So always deal with caution. There's always a risk of being rugged. But if you understand that, then that's fine. And I have not been rugged yet, but I know I will be. And if you have that mindset, it's fine. It's only farm with an amount that you're willing to lose, because I think every farmer has been rugged at some point. And it's gonna happen to me at some point, but it's okay. I understand that, and I'm taking that risk. Okay, and also understand that to make money in yield farms, you have to be early, right? Because the deposit fee is gonna be propping up the farm token. So if you're the last guy to deposit, then the token, you're not gonna make your deposit fee back. And another tool that I use is called vfat.tools, and this is gonna apply to like all other chains like BSC, Huobi, Phantom, etc. But you know, this is like a database for new farms. I'm just gonna refresh to see if there's anything new. Okay, so there's like Polypanda Defend. So this is like a way to see like what farms are open. I think in 2020 this was like some major alpha, but I think it's more well known. I think currently, as of May 11th, the alpha is the Rug Doctor Google spreadsheet. So you know, always have this tab open and like refresh this every hour or so. And yeah, I want to go over just talking about tokenomics again. Like you see that like all these safe farms, it says Goose clone, right? Like this is a Goose clone, this is a Goose fork, Goose clone, Goose clone. So okay, let's look at what the price of Goose has done to see like what the eventual fate of these farm tokens are. All right, like this is the price of the Goose token. As I said, these farms are designed to go to zero, right? All your farms, like their charts are gonna look like this over time. So just understand that. Okay, so like with Polyfi, I'm in this right now because yes, there are other farms like Polyshark, Polyzap, and Polywhale. And you know, it is enticing, right? I mean, Polyshark has a higher APR than Polyfi, but I just want to go over this idea where, let's say you're in this farm with 1,000% APY and you have $1,000 into it, right? And you're pretty happy, but you see this new farm with 5,000% APY, right? And you might be thinking to yourself, oh my God, like I should just rotate my farm into this one because it has a higher APY or APR. But you have to understand that, you know, all these farms have a 4% deposit fee, right? So if you rotate your farms, then you're gonna start off with less capital. So in order to switch farms, and in order for this process to be profitable, your new farm must outperform the deposit fee. And in other words, if you're gonna rotate into a new farm, like you have to compare the EV, the expected value of rotating into that new farm compared to the EV of you staying in that farm. So right now I'm in Polyfi, like I talked about this a few days ago, and this farm is like kind of dead. Like I wouldn't recommend, not financial advice, but I really wouldn't recommend anyone get into this right now because it's like dying, it's dying. But I think for me, like the EV of me staying into this farm is higher than the EV that I'll get by rotating into Polyshark or Polyzap, just because the TVL kind of ballooned. I was like monitoring Polyshark when the TVL was like at 400, but right before the farm launched, it was like at 2 million. And at that point, I was not sure if I'll make my deposit fee back. In hindsight, I probably would have made my deposit fee back because it kept growing, but at the time I didn't know. And there's no way to know, right? You just have to use your brain. You have to just keep farming and like trying to understand I can't talk, the dynamics of these yield farms. And I think Polyzap is an interesting one because they actually have a fixed supply, a cap supply of 21 million. So the emissions of these farms are going to go down over time. So I think Polyzap is like going to be like a yield farm that's going to be sustainable, which is interesting. But when they launched, I think TVL was like at 12 million. So I didn't really see the point of me rotating my farm from Polyfi to these Polyzaps. So this is like the way I think about farms. Like you shouldn't just ape into like the highest APR farm because you're just paying a deposit fee. And if you keep rotating, then the 4% deposit fee is going to keep eating into your profits. Okay, so Polyfi, I don't know why I have this many Polyfis in my wallet. I should just be like dumping them right now. Like I'll just do it right now. Farm and dump, right? Farm and dump, all right. I don't want these worthless farm tokens. It's going to zero. I want more Matic, which I'm accumulating. And I went over this in my last video as well, but my goal is to hit 10,000 Matic tokens just from yield farms. I haven't purchased a single Matic. These are all from using AAVE, using these deposit fees, and I'm being paid to borrow and lend. But I'm taking my farms and I'm just rotating it all into the Matic token. And a cool tip that I have is that on the website, the price of the token is like at the bottom left, right here, bottom left here, right? But sometimes like it doesn't update correctly, and you have to understand that these APRs are based on this price, so like 39 cents. So this 500% APR is based on 39 cents. But if you want to get the accurate price for your tokens, you just go to QuickSwap and put in Polyfi here, 1 cent, and whatever I put it in a stable coin on the other side, and you can see that, okay, like for one Polyfi, it's 36.5 cents. So it's not too far off, but sometimes there's like a 20% discrepancy, which might mess with your actual APR. And I really recommend everyone to check out my playlist for Matic Polygon. I have 6 videos. This is my 7th video. I think it's really good. If you want to get started on Polygon, I talk about QuickSwap, Polygon, AAVE curve, and all these farms that I think is really useful. And AAVE is by far my favorite app on Polygon because I'm being paid to borrow and lend. Like I started Polygon with 17K in here. I deposited 17K of USDC. I borrowed against it, and I made a trade on QuickSwap, and I made some profit. I rotated those profits into Bitcoin, putting it as collateral. I'm earning Matic, which I'm putting it in as collateral, which I'm accumulating, and I'm borrowing against it, and I'm being paid to borrow. Like I'm paying AAVE 10% to borrow, but the Polygon network is paying me 15% paid in Matic to do so. So I'm being paid to farm right now. So if you're in Polygon and you're not using AAVE, then like you're doing something wrong. Like you should definitely be using AAVE, because like I'm just like earning Matic like every single day. I'm farming and dumping my tokens for AAVE. It's really cool. I think everyone should do it. And over time, like as long as you don't get rugged, you're gonna make money. Okay, so yeah, like I said, average block time is 2 seconds. So Polyfi, what is it? 0.8 Polyfi per block. So every 2 seconds, there's 0.8 Polyfi that's minted. So understand, infinite token supply for all these farms. Lastly, let's go over my 4 commandments, right? And this is nothing special. I mean, this is like 60 IQ stuff, but I just want to go over these 4 commandments. And if you follow these 4 commandments, I think you'll be a profitable yield farmer. So first of all, be early. How do you be early? Well, you have to use the Rug Doctor spreadsheet. The way I was early into Polyfi was that I saw Polyfi on Rug Doctor, and then a day after, it got listed on VFAT Tools. And everyone that saw it on VFAT Tools put their money into Polyfi, and I already had my capital in Polyfi. So the TVL went from like 400 to 800, and I just made a bunch of money doing that as well. Second commandment is to don't get rugged. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but if you follow the Rug Doctor, and if you have friends that can read code, and then I suggest like you check Rug Doctor and then ask your friend like, is this farm safe? And if the Rug Doctor and your friend says it's safe, then the risk is lowered for you. But obviously, understand with farms, at some point you're gonna get rugged, right? Like it's inevitable. Third commandment: farm and dump, right? These farm tokens are worthless. You have to farm them and dump them immediately. And the cool thing with farm and dumps on Polygon is that because your fees are essentially 0, you can farm these tokens like I did earlier and dump them for tokens that you actually want. I'm bullish the Matic ecosystem, so I am farming like these worthless farm tokens and buying Matic with it. If you wanna farm and dump like ETH or Bitcoin, right? Because you're bullish ETH or Bitcoin, which I mean everyone is, right? Then that's fine too. Like you can farm these worthless governance tokens, or not even governance tokens, farmless tokens, and just buy Bitcoin with it, buy ETH with it, buy Matic with it, buy even dollars with it, right? Like it's fine. As long as you don't hold on to your farm token, you're gonna be fine. And lastly, never marry a farm. With farms, you should always be making a plus EV decision, right? So like always chase the highest EV farm, and understand that farms are designed to go to 0. So if a farm makes you a lot of money, don't marry it. Like it's gonna go to 0. Like find a new farm that can give you more EV. And sometimes it's okay to stay in a farm because that might be the highest EV decision, but never stay loyal to a farm. It's like when you're in the crypto markets, like never marry an altcoin. It's like a famous saying, because if Bitcoin dumps 30%, then your favorite altcoin will dump 50%, right? It's inevitable. So these are 4 commandments. If you follow these commandments, you should be able to be a profitable yield farmer. And always, I think your first few farms, you might break even, you might make a little bit of money, but you might lose some money. That's fine, right? That's like tuition, right? You're paying tuition via deposit fees to the Taiki school of yield farm, and that's fine. And as long as you keep trying and you keep like understanding the meta behind these yield farms, I think you'll be fine. Because I think if you're new, like I think it's easy to just ape into Polyshark because like, oh my god, it's a new one. But I understood that like TVL of 2 million when it first launched, that's pretty high. Like I don't know if that's plus EV. In hindsight, it was plus EV because TVL kept growing. The Shark token is like $20. Like it's pretty good. It's a pretty good farm. But in the moment, you don't know that, right? So yeah, you just have to understand like your ecosystem. The Matic farms have been really good, but the TVL, I think they've been dying off pretty fast. So 2 million TVL, not interested. But 17 mil TVL on Polyzap, that's interesting because they have a fixed supply. It's a sustainable farm. They have this tool where the harvest lockup is 24 hours. So if you deposit it right now, you won't be able to claim your farm tokens for 24 hours. So it's more sustainable. So the price of these tokens shouldn't like dip to 0 that fast. But so it's an interesting concept. So for something like this, if the Polygon ecosystem blows up, maybe this is worth 200 million TVL, right? It's possible. So you just have to use your brain. At the end of the day, like you shouldn't just like follow me on all my farms, because if you're just following me, then chances are you're like not that early into the farm game. So you just gotta be you gotta put your skin in the game and understand, understand real farming. If you like the content, please like and subscribe and leave a comment in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day farming out there. Thank you.